Yep.
Hey everybody, it is Alexandra here with Optimum Joy, and I have Bria McCalpin, a therapist here. And before we get into kind of a little bit of some questions for people to get to know you as our COVID bio interview in place of our shiny videos, I just want to highlight probably the populations that you serve is a lot of couples work. Whether that's like wanting to deepen their connection or just kind of couples feeling stuck, couples that feel like there's a conflict going on, just kind of general couples work, and even maybe like multicultural issues that come up within couples dynamics too. And then I would also say that you really also work with teens and adolescents and people who are generally also just have a lot of like relationship issues. So individuals who are wanting to kind of focus on and work on relationships. And part of that, if I'm right, you can correct me if I'm wrong, springs from your education background is actually in marriage and family work and systems. So I hear relationships when I hear all those populations. Would you add anything else to that, or does that encapsulate you pretty well?
I feel like that's perfect. Like a general little wrap up. I feel like that was nice with a little bow on top.
There you go. Perfect, Bria. All right. Well, now that we have this done, let's just tell what first brought you into the field of counseling. What made you interested in the field of counseling?
This is always such a hard question because I feel like my first thought is the corniest of I always wanted to be a therapist. Like when I was younger, I envisioned myself wearing like little glasses, having a suit on, and my client just laying out on like the little lounger. And I'm just like, yeah, let's talk about your problems. But it wasn't until I really got into my work at undergrad. I went to U of I, we did psychology. It was really science-based, and I wanted more like arts where I could talk to people and actually explore relationships, because throughout my friend group all my life, I always been like my friends like couple therapists without even having the degree. And as I started working at my school's counseling center, that's why I really like enjoy talking to people, listening to them, because I feel like there's a lot of people that just don't really have someone to talk to and even someone to just listen.
Yeah. That's something I feel like, well, first of all, I did not know that you, when you were a little kid, wanted to be a therapist. That's new to me. But that actually coming and talking to somebody about your life is the work. You know, when people say, oh, yeah, I got to work in counseling, that in and of itself is enough to create change in people's lives. And that is part of the work, I would say. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And, you know, is in all of that, now that you actually do the work that you set out to do as an itty bitty little kiddo, do you have a favorite thing about being a therapist?
My favorite thing would just actually be sitting there with a client. I've had a lot of experience where a client may share something that they haven't shared with people before. And, in those times, you may want someone to say something, but other times it's just like, now let's sit with this because I haven't processed this yet. And I never really thought I'll be the type that wants to just do that with a client, because I know I stray away from like difficult conversations. But for someone to actually want to bring that to me into an open space and be vulnerable with me like that, it, it warms my heart. It's so amazing because I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
look at me. But I really enjoy, that's my favorite part. I enjoy that the most, just being there with a client in those difficult moments and those hard conversations.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a really unique space to hold with people. And
Mhm.
I feel like the conversations you have in therapy aren't quite like the conversations you have anywhere else in your life, right? Because it's
Yeah.
unique, and it's not good or bad or anything else, because all of it's needed. You need normal life, and then you need those kind of weird, interesting conversations you have in the counseling room. So, oh man. Well, what would you, if you're kind of take a step back and think about,
Mhm.
there's a lot of misconceptions around therapy, a lot of ideas about who should and should not be in counseling, all that different stuff.
Mhm.
Is there anything you would want people to know, just generally speaking, about counseling?
I want people to know that it's not, oh, let me dig at every little part, like who you are when you're probably not ready. And also with the way I enter therapy is because I want to be that person, a part of my community, the Black community, where it's not like this stigma about mental health, where it's like pushed aside, or even you could do something else rather than just talk to somebody, or somebody that may dismiss a person and say, you could just talk to me. Like, that's what really pushed me, is just being that like face of, hey, this is somebody that could probably understand like my culture, because it's being a Black woman in like the mental health field, it's very few of us. And that, which I enjoy, that Optimum Joy has so many female therapists. But I feel like having that, like being against that stigma, to defeat the stereotype that only quote unquote crazy people go to therapy, was really just like processing, maybe even grief, a relationship. And again, like the simplest, talking to somebody.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks for saying that. Kind of switching to a little bit of like give us a little peek into Bria's personal life. When you are not in the office, Bria, how do you spend your time?
Well, I wouldn't say I read. I enjoy reading. I have a little list on Amazon for my wish list to read. I'm trying to get better at that, but being a student in grad school, reading is kind of like hard to do now. But I do enjoy listening to music, going on YouTube and watching like those movie commentaries where I like could follow as if I'm a director or producer, as well as just hmm. Plus, I like to scroll through TikTok too.
That's
I
real.
just got into that, so I'm like, I enjoy it.
I feel like what you're not saying is that you got some type of gaming system recently too, that you go
Oh yeah, my Switch. It's a problem. I just got this game where it's like a little detective for Among Us. Yes. So you're a detective, and then you can sometimes be the imposter. So I like that because I enjoy criminal shows. Like, if I said therapy was one of my goals as a kid, but also being a detective was another one. So it just all formed together. Questioning, the line of questioning is probably like similar.
And did you grow up in Chicago or where did you grow up?
I grew up in Chicago, South Side Chicago, Inglewood, if we want to get like deeper, which is probably why I want to do some work in South Side or West Side, some outreach type of work. That way it's not just let's go down to the loop or go into like a center. It could be like I'm trying to resonate with people of my community, going back to that, like let's defeat the stigma of therapy.
Yep, absolutely. I love that. We need to kind of put our heads together outside this Zoom interview and feel around the way that that could be done,
Yeah.
so we'll outside of this interview, we'll kind of you and I will put our heads together. So, but to continue with my line of questioning, what something we ask everybody because it's just our name is Optimum Joy. Joy,
Mhm.
important concept within mental health. What brings you joy?
I ask my clients this, and I'm like, it's a hard question. Look at me, I can't even answer to. But what brings me joy? I guess doing what I love, and like I feel seeing clients. It's probably corny. I can't help it, but it brings me so much joy that I like made an impact in someone's life, and even validating me in some sense that this is something that I want to continue to do when I get old and gray. Like that brings me joy. Like that's my little corny answer. Other than that, probably just sitting in the dark listening to music on my moody playlist. That brings me joy as well, despite the name.
Oh, you know what's coming out in this is how passionate of a person you are, Bria. That you bring a lot of passion to your work with clients, and you bring a lot of passion to your moody playlist with the lights off by yourself. That's what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
I had too many of my family members come in and say, "Are you okay? Are you a vampire? Is this something like do you want to be a vampire now?"
It's in your feelings over there for sure. Um, so, is there anything else like that you do that would maybe surprise people or that others don't know about?
Something that I do is I enjoy doing my nails, like not acrylic, but polygel is kind of different. It's seen as the healthier version of acrylic. But I love just designing my own nails. I consider that a form of self care. I enjoy collecting jewelry. I don't have my big earrings in right now, but usually they're kind of big designs. So I actually want to get into probably like start doing my jewelry, like designing. I gotta figure that out. But there's a lot of things on my list I want to do. Like I also want to get into drawing because I enjoy anime and I want to learn how to draw characters. Just for my own like self-care release from school, life, just something to relax me.
Absolutely. I love your creative energy around thinking about how can I take something I enjoy and embed it more into my life in like a way that feels
Mhm.
or I feel good about it, whether it's designing jewelry or anime or this or that.
Mhm.
It's just kind of a it's super creative, and I hope people that listen to this can also be like, oh yeah, I can be a lot of different creativity. I can be a lot of different creative ways in my
Mhm.
life. So my last question, Bria, is more geared towards people who are maybe thinking about counseling, but they haven't actually started. They really are just like in that considering phase. What would you want to say to those people who are considering seeking out counseling?
Well, I feel like even the thought of even like entering your head to consider it is like a step in the right direction to have someone to speak to. And I like going back to that self care. I think therapy can just be a form of self care where you can have someone there, like an unbiased opinion. Because I know, like, even with me, when I talk to my friends, I'm like, you're going to choose my side anyway. But having like a therapist to just be a like a mediator of sorts to listen, taking your experience is a I'm kind of interested in doing that. And I feel like it's kind of hard to find like the perfect therapist for you, but I think like the first step of even considering it, and then it goes into another step of let me figure out like who I probably resonate with, even doing like a little bit of research about the types of therapy to see like, this may be for me.
Yeah, exactly. And encouraging people, right along with what you're saying, encouraging people to really listen to that resonance within their gut.
Hmm.
Something about this person feels right. Um,
Yeah.
we're all about the feelings, but part of that is even just learning to trust. There's some intuitive, wise way of knowing within you that would say,
Hmm.
I think there's something about them, or no, this is not the right person. You should tune into that.
Hmm.
Tune into it, listen to it, because that's going to help find people, like steer them in the right direction for a counselor. So
Yeah, like those gut feelings, I always validate that because there's something that like your body always gonna tell a story that even like your mind's like, I don't know.
exactly, exactly. Well, Bria, we love the work you do at Optimal Joy. We are happy to have you here. I am really thankful that you would take precious time out of your honestly like clinical caseload. I know you have a busy day today, so I just am really thankful that you would pop on here with me, record your
Hmm.
people could actually get a sense of who you are, what you do, what you're passionate about, all the other little things. So I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem. Appreciate you having me and appreciate people getting to know me before probably seeing me in the therapy session.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, Bria.
Thank you.